Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paula Pinto. I am a lecturer at the São Paulo State University, and I'm very happy to be presenting this research at Inpla 2021. It's still a work in progress, and the title of my presentation is Multidimensional Analysis of Research Papers on the Sustainable Development Goals. This research is being supervised by Dr. Tony Beber Sardinha from PUC São Paulo. So I'd like to start by thanking Dr. Tony Beber Sardinha for welcoming me to his research group, GELC, and I would also like to thank my colleagues for discussing the results and the data with me. I'd also like to thank São Paulo Catholic University, PUC, and I'd like to thank CNPq for funding part of this research. So the United Nations 2030 Agenda, it's a document that has been built over the last decades in several occasions and several meetings, some of them well known by Brazilians, such as the Agenda 21 in Rio, which took place in 1992. And also the last one is the Paris Agreement on Climate Change, which was held in December 2015. Now, the UN Agenda 2030 Agenda has the aim of ending poverty and other deprivations in partnership to improve health and education, reduce inequality, and spur economic growth. At the same time, tackle climate change and preserve oceans and forests. So the document was adapted by the United Nations members in 2015, and it's an urgent call for action by developed and developing countries in a global partnership. So the result of this document are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which can be seen in this picture. I'm sure that some of you or most of you have already seen this picture. And as we can see, the goals are interconnected, such as no poverty, zero hunger, and good health and well-being. My research is based on the observation of research paper writing, since the Sustainable Development Goals have been used as guidelines by international researchers and funding agencies in the selection of projects. So I'd like to know how those goals have been discussed by researchers worldwide and how they are being discussed in Brazil, so that we can have a broader idea on what kind of language and how the themes are being discussed by those researchers. This study is based on previous studies on academic collocations and translated terms in research papers written by Brazilian researchers, and those studies used the methodology of corpus linguistics. However, we have noticed that there are still few recent studies on sustainable development goals and corpus linguistics. Some of them are the ones that are being shown here. And we believe that it would be very important and relevant for researchers in Brazil to know how those SDGs are being discussed and to have some data that can be collected by using the corpus linguistics methodology. So we are proposing here a study to observe lexical multidimensional analysis. We're going to analyze how words and how the vocabulary is being used in the content words, so adjectives, nouns, adverbs, are being used by different researchers by analyzing a corpus of research papers here. Our research questions are international researchers discussing the SDGs in their studies. Which themes are mostly being discussed by them? How are the SDGs being discussed in international studies? And do contexts related to the SDGs show positive or negative discussions? So based on these research questions, our objectives are analyzing how the SDGs are present in research papers written by international research teams, and find which dimensions are present in the SDG corpus. We used a combined research methodology. So first of all, we compiled a corpus of 400 research papers with the query term Sustainable Development Goal using the tool AntCoreGen. The corpus has approximately a little bit more than 2 million words, and it was tagged and lemmatized so that we could see how the lexis and how the vocabulary is being used by those authors. And the lexical multidimensional analysis was carried out by generating a factor analysis with SAS program. And we have started interpreting the corpus dimensions with the results from SAS. We also used keywords analysis to extract terms by using Sketch Engine, and we have read some of the concordance lines to have a better idea on the contexts in which those terms were being used. So this is the scree plot to analyze the factors. It's a factor analysis scree plot, and we have to take a look on how the curves are used so that those will show us the factors that we have. And we believe that we do have 6 factors here, which will become the 6 dimensions that will be discussed. We've identified 6 factors which were considered 6 dimensions. As we can see, we have words such as government, health, challenge, stakeholder, understanding, community. All those words are related to the way the government decides and takes actions. In the second dimension, we have words and verbs and nouns related to presenting results. So we have here show, value, represent, assume, same, model, contrast, indicate, explain, goal. So as we can see, they're all the vocabulary that researchers usually use to present their results. In dimension 3, data interpretation, we have verbs such as exam, study, nouns such as effectiveness, outcome, all words related to how we interpret, how researchers interpret their data. In the fourth dimension, we have as first words datum and data, year, estimate, high, available, journal. As we can see, vocabulary that is used to present the data. The fifth dimension was called data quality because we start by an adverb, significantly, then we have significant, response, review, more, consistent. In dimension 6, we have vocabulary related to research procedure, such as consent, approve, information, assign, informed, collect, conduct, select, collection, procedure, list, description, obtain, follow, and describe. All words related to how the authors have been talking about the procedures they use in their studies. This is what we have up until now, and we are going, the next step will be reading the texts to see how those words are used by the authors and how we can illustrate each dimension. Now, another result that we have are the top types in each research section, which means which words are used in different documents at least once. The most common vocabulary used in each of those sections. As we can see here, top types in the abstracts. We have, for example, result which was used in 237 documents. The second one is study, which was used in 222 documents in different abstracts. Also, it's a word, it's a vocabulary related to the abstracts. And in black, we have the vocabulary that's usually used when we are describing the research. But in red, we have words that might be indicating the Sustainable Development Goals. So we have sustainable, develop, country, improve, development, policy, change. So those are impact, intervention, and reduce. In the same way, we have a list of top types in the introductions. Again, in black, we have words that are usually used in research papers. And in red, we have words that are also, that may be indicating that a discussion about the Sustainable Development Goal is being done. In material and methods, the top types are related to describing the material and methods. As we can see, we have include, data, analysis, study, and all the words in black are related to describing this section of the research paper. In top types, in results and discussions, we have mostly words related to this section, of course, but we also have goal and impact that could be related to the SDGs. Finally, in conclusions, now we have again words that are also part of the SDGs, such as improve, provide, development, change, goal, sustainable, support, impact, country, and intervention. Right, so now we are going to talk about the other analysis that we have used, which is keywords. So we have observed the terms, the multi-terms, and the concordance lines to have an idea on the context of those terms. This is the list of multi-terms from the same corpus. And as we can see, the topic that's mostly discussed has to do with health. And we took a look to illustrate. We are going to show how the concordance lines can help us in reading the context of those terms. So we have here ocean health. We generated the concordance lines with ocean health. And we noticed that there's one of the concordance lines that brings Brazil as the main topic. Expanding this context, we could have a better idea on how the author was discussing ocean health. And to improve Brazil's ocean health, this study suggests that future actions should focus on enhancing fisheries management, expanding marine protected areas, and monitoring coastal habitats. So as we can see, this article is really related to the Sustainable Development Goal 14, life below water. Now, what are our future steps? We are going to analyze the texts in each dimension generated by the lexical multidimensional analysis. We are going also to analyze the expanded concordance lines based on keywords. We're going to observe data from each article to better map the SDGs internationally. As final remarks, we can say that the lexical MDA searched for words with higher co-occurrences in the research paper sections and detected 6 themes in the corpus. The lexical MDA also showed which types, which are words counted only once in each document, were more frequent and mostly distributed in each section. The keywords showed statistically relevant terms within the whole corpus, which are related to the SDGs. So we have used 2 different methods to observe lexes and themes in the Sustainable Development Goal corpus that we have compiled. So I'd like to thank you very much for your attention, and these are my references. Thank you.